Today, I want to speak about Turkey and the Turkish Lira. In the last month, we saw the Lira decline over 40% relative to the dollar. So let me begin by saying this is a human tragedy. There are, I think, over 80 million people living in Turkey, and people are losing and lost their entire savings. As I've made the point on this channel several times, the fiat system works until it doesn't. And the point of failure is when two people meet in the store, both of them have plenty of fiat in their pockets, but there is only one tuna can on the shelf. That is to say, shortages. No, not only people have lost their savings, people in Turkey are now competing for a very limited amount of resources. People are turned against each other. They all try to convert their pieces of paper, their labor, into something tangible. And that creates tension within society. When the currency collapses, trust collapses, society suffers. That is the current state in Turkey, and that is a human tragedy. Having said that, what happened? What caused this disaster? I personally believe it all started in, I think, 2016 and the aftermath of the coup against Erdogan. Once the coup failed, many hundreds of thousands of people lost their jobs, their livelihood, and sometimes, in many cases, their freedom, whether journalists or people who were opposed to Erdogan. If you understand and if you watched my videos, the way money is created is in the banking system. The banker who is godlike is approached by people with ideas. If the banks believe these are good ideas, it creates currency, and so currency is multiplied through the fractional reserve system. And so if you have hundreds of thousands of people out of the money creation process, that would create an immediate shortage in currency, a currency that had to be printed from somewhere. In the case of Turkey, it was printed by the government, by bureaucrats. So instead of free people going into a bank and convincing a banker who is attached to a reality of the current market, makes the decision of okay or not. While it is a corrupt process, it is a much better process than bureaucrats who spend other people's money. People spend their money very differently than they're spending others people's money. And so after 5 or 6 years of this, we have a lot more currency than what Turkey produces. And the corona virus most certainly made it worse, such that not many people who are in the tens of millions who visit Turkey on a regular basis for vacations no longer do so. And so a lot of European currency and other currencies don't flow into Turkey, which really makes this much more severe than it would have been. But still, it is the fact that government has printed so many pieces of paper, so much currency relative to what Turkey produces, that made and brought us to this problem. And now everybody understands this simple fact. There are too many pieces of paper relative to what is produced. The reason Erdogan refuses to increase the interest rate is because he wants to have less pieces of paper. Turkey owes billions of dollars. Every interest, a 1 point interest or 100 basis point, we say, is billions of dollars. So he says, I'll print less pieces of paper by printing less and giving it to our debtors. But you see, that's the whole point. When you print too much currency, the people who provide this wealth, who give money to support your currency, well, they own you. That's the thing. Of course, Erdogan does not want to increase the interest rate because it simply means that he prints more pieces of paper and give it to the debtor of his country, which is exactly the point. You see, they own Erdogan. If he doesn't increase the interest rate, as he refuses to do, well, it simply means that the currency is going to lose its value. People are not willing to invest their money if they're not going to get an interest that will be at least as much as the inflation or the reduce in the purchasing price of that currency. So they own Erdogan. And while he is absolutely right, the last thing he wants is to pay more currency to his debtor, he has no choice. And if he refuses to do that, he would pay it through the devaluation of the currency. Everything stems from the fact that there is central power that made these decisions throughout the years since the coup. So let me end with a hypothetical. Imagine that 3,000 people decided to make Turkey their home. And they are composed by the best 1,000 engineers, the best 1,000 doctors, and the best 1,000 entrepreneurs. All Turkey's problems would disappear in one day, simply because they would grow into the amount of pieces of paper they have today. And that is really all Turkey and all any country needs in a time of crisis. They need talent. They need people who produce within their society. And everything Erdogan does, and everything all countries who suffer from inflation do, they make it so that those who produce leave the country. Those who create no longer wish to live in these places because of the rule and the central power that governments enforce through coercion. So that's what I have for you today. Till next time.